Welcome back RC Drifters, and in this episode we install bags 6 and 7. Next we install the front and rear damper stays and the front and rear axle assemblies, so let's get into it. Bag number 6 is the damper stays. Come with all the hardware you need, so let's get these on. Now the damper stays are all fitted. I will say the front very easy. Just 2 M3 screws at the front there, and then ball ends screwed in through the back with another pair of M3 Allen heads. The rear, however, first of all, it is just held on by 2 M3 screws, but what it didn't really make clear is that these, the ball ends and the upper arms for the rear suspension need to be fitted before installing the damper stay onto the rear of the gearbox. Also, the spacer in between that screw that goes right the way through, and then there's this little lock nut that goes in through a hole there and then screws in all together, and it wasn't very clear, so I had to try a couple of times, but now it's all on. And with that all complete, we can move on to bag number 7. And with bag 7 all opened up and organised, we can get to assembling everything. Starting off, first we are going to assemble the front hubs, then we'll put together the rear drive shafts, and then we will assemble all the rear hubs. And just like that, everything is assembled. Starting with the front hub, you will need a 2.5 hex driver for the bottom and top ball ends. You'll need a 2mm for the smaller steering, and then you'll need a 1.5mm for the tiny little grub screw holding the disc on. There is also a 2.5mm Allen at the back on the stub axle, and you can actually put the screwdriver in the back there and then use it to push and seat the bearing in place properly, which is really nice. I love the discs and the floating caliper. Not only do they look great cosmetically, but they also serve a great purpose of keeping the hex from falling off when taking wheels on and off, and losing that ever so pesky sort of rod that goes through the stub axle there, holding everything in place. When it comes to the rear, the one thing I have noticed is there's a bar that goes through the bottom here that connects the lower arm, and there's a little grub screw here. If you put the disc on, you can't get to that, so you need to put the rear discs and calipers with the grub screw on after installing them onto the lower arm. The only thing you'll need to screw in is the top ball end, and that is a 2mm, and then that's everything ready to go on the chassis. And after all of that, the hubs are now all installed. Very, very simple. On the rear, just clip that top arm into the ball end, and on the bottom there is a bar and a grub screw, and then the disc, hex nut and caliper with a tiny little screw can go on the side. On the front, the bottom ball joint clicks in, the top ball end clicks in, and the steering arm clicks in. And with that, we've got a great amount of mechanical lock. Next will be bag 8, which is building the shocks and installing them. With those parts all installed, that concludes our second to last episode in this build series. Join me next time as we finish the chassis build and drive it for the very first time. And also don't forget to head over to driftmangrc.com, take advantage of my 10% discount Scale Dynasty 10 and go and buy something. Thanks again for everyone who supported me so far, and remember, keep it sideways.